Hey, I'm going to go Amazon live at 3:55. So here I go. Let's see. I think I got it set up. Hopefully. Let's see. Going Amazon live at 3:55. 3:55 instead of 5:55 because I might not have any internet. I might not have any electricity. So got to do it while I can. All right, Amazon at 3:55. All right, wait. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. All right, here I am going Amazon live at 3:55. Hey, I'm Randall Constant and I'm Amazon live at 3:55. I'm always Amazon live at 3:55, but we got this weather problem that's going on right now, so that might kind of affect my 5:55 time slot today. Not exactly sure how long I'll have, electricity. Don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I tried to do an Amazon live with Calvin this morning, and that was a little challenging. There's too much excitement going on. The wind's blowing, raining. Tornado warnings. The fact that it's hitting in Louisiana, it definitely had them all hyped up. So he ended up watching TV, watching the news, kind of keeping an eye on what was going on, and then he went to sleep. So he's sleeping right now. So when later on down the road, he'll be wide awake if the lights go out. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let me go ahead and share this. I'm just going to go ahead and share the deal with Calvin when he was on with me. I woke up this morning and I asked Calvin, I said, you want to do an Amazon live today? And he said, yeah. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me see. I'm going to share it with Calvin. Here he is. Let me go ahead. This is what Calvin had to say this morning. Who knows?
We're not going to be on the air all day.
Hey, we're going to be Amazon. I like the way he says we're not going to be on Amazon live all day. Yeah, that's a great way to start. Here we go. Here's Calvin live. Yeah, Calvin, this is the first time we're Amazon live in the morning. This is the first time since we started back on May 1st.
I know that.
Yeah.
We used to talk about the storm.
You talk about the storm? Yeah, but you're on Amazon live though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We woke up early this morning because of the noise, right, Kyle? We ended up getting some outer bands. Hey, if you don't know, my name is Randall Constant, and what's your name? Oh yeah, you know what? I could probably change this so I could show your name. Yeah, Randall and Calvin Constant. All right. Oh, okay. I thought I had it on the larger size, but anyway, that's how I started with Calvin, and like I said, Calvin wanted to see the news, so he was in a hurry. The thing with Amazon Live, it's not a thing that lasts 5 minutes. He puts in his 10 minutes, and he was ready to roll. So anyway, he ended up going. So today I decided I was going to go ahead and do YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, because there's just I know a few people, and a few people are kind of wondering what's going on. So I figured, one way to let everybody know what's going on is, how about if I do a live stream and I connect it with Facebook and LinkedIn? Because I know a lot of people on LinkedIn, and of course I know a lot of people on Facebook. And that's the best way to communicate. You got to communicate the way it's easy, easy for them. You know how the deal is. Some people that are on LinkedIn only know LinkedIn. Some people that have Facebook, they only know that. Other people, YouTube, and it goes on and on and on. So that's what I decided to do. So I did the Amazon live that way. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and check to see if I'm connected, and I am. So that's a good thing. The thing that happened this morning, I'm in Gulfport. And if you saw the little clip earlier, you see that what we did was we went ahead and we drilled in boards on the inside of our house to keep the door from blowing open. Because when Hurricane Zeta came through with the 100-mile-an-hour winds, my wife and I spent 2 hours holding the door because the door wasn't going to hold. It was not going to hold. It was going to blow open without a doubt. And the thing is, you don't need 100-mile-an-hour winds going through your house. And the thing is, Calvin was with us, and he was in his wheelchair, and I couldn't let go of the door because the door was going to open. Oh, it was locked and everything, but that wasn't going to keep the door closed. So anyway, we decided we didn't want to go through the stress that we went through last time. And we went ahead and put 3 boards in. And you can see on that clip earlier that that's what we did. So we're not going through the back door. The back door actually faces the Gulf, and that wind be coming right on in. So anyway, we got that all taken care of. This morning, the way it worked for us, hey, we ended up staying up until, I don't know, like probably 4 or 5 o'clock. And we stayed up long enough to find out that it was already a Category 4. So we knew the news wasn't going to be too great. But at the same time, you can't just not get no sleep. So we ended up getting some sleep. But that didn't last long because the outer bands were coming in to Gulfport at 8 o'clock. So with all that noise, it woke me up. I was able to get up. My wife stayed sleeping. My son stayed sleeping. My mother-in-law stayed sleeping. So they stayed sleeping. I don't know how they slept through that noise. But anyway, I got outside, fixed up some things, moved things around, because you always try to make things better than it was before. So you move things around. I hope that this doesn't fly. I hope this doesn't go away. I hope this, whatever. So that's what I did. So basically, I think we're basically 40 to 45 mile an hour winds. And it seemed like that's what it was at 8 o'clock. And then it rested, and it came back, and it rested and came back. So it's been off and on. But 40 miles is better than 100 miles. But I think it's going to kick up a little bit more than that. And the rain so far, I think we only got a little more than an inch. So as far as rain is concerned, we're doing okay. But my house in Metairie, that's not going to do as good because that's definitely closer to where the hurricane's going to pass. And of course, my old stomping grounds where I'm from, Thibodaux, Houma, Lockport, all that area. I spent a lot of time in that area, and that's where the storm's gone. It's coming up on Lockport. And it's so the deal is everything. It's amazing how so much is involved with this particular storm, because it's like where I came up, the first 20 years of my life, and then the last thing is in the last 35 years, I spent a lot of time between New Orleans and Gulfport. So all that's being affected. This storm's so big that everybody's being affected. So it's like the perfect storm for me, because it's just so stressful worrying about, what can you do? Whatever happens. Can't do anything about it. But anyway, if you have any questions about hurricanes, I've been through a few. I missed Betsy because my dad was in the Navy, and he was stationed in California. See, I just got a message. Hey, how are you? Oh, doing fine. We're doing okay. When I did it, when I tried to do the Amazon Live earlier, I just kept on getting the phone kept on ringing. This one rang, that one rang, this one rang, and just ringing. So I figured, well, let me go ahead and do one where I communicate with everybody at the same time. But as far as Amazon Live is concerned, anybody that has questions about anything to do with the storm, go ahead and ask. I've been through a few. I've been through Katrina, and that's enough right there. I missed Betsy. Came close to being involved with Camille, but it didn't make it to us. It ended up coming to Mississippi, and this is where I'm at right now. This is where Camille came, and Camille was definitely bad. And then you had Andrew that went to Miami and then came into Louisiana, and that was another bad one. That's the time, I think that's the time that Thibodaux and Thibodaux, where I'm from, I think that's when they lost electricity for a long period of time. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But I was in New Orleans at the time. So all these areas that are being affected today, it's all places I know pretty well. Spent a lot of time in all these different places, no doubt. All right. Well, anyway, I'm on the Amazon part of it. Look, when I started Amazon Live back in the beginning, and on May 1st, I did it with Calvin. Hey, if you're on Amazon Live and you don't know who Calvin is, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I think I got a photo somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, Amazon. Calvin's my son. Unfortunately, he likes Alabama instead of LSU. But hey, that's how it goes. So anyway, he's the one that actually was doing this Amazon with me earlier today. All right, I don't know. I'm lost. I'm thinking about all kinds of things that are going on. Anyway, I was going to go ahead and put the ever since I did the Amazon Live on May 1st, I've been basically talking about the upcoming hurricane season because last year was just such a disaster. If you lived in Louisiana or you lived in Mississippi, we were living in the cone 18, and depending on where you live, something like 18 to 21 days during the summertime. So at any time we had to get in the car and leave town or be prepared for a storm that was going to hit. And that was just, and then you mix it with COVID. Because how do you evacuate and go to places when, we had that situation last year? So that was kind of difficult. So we went through all those different things. We got, where I was living, I got the first storm and got the last Zeta. And then this year when the season started, we got the first storm again, Claudette, and then here we go, another one. And remember, the season's not even over. So the thing is, I started talking about stuff that was related to hurricane season. So since I've been in the food business for 45 years, I figured, well, look, I'll talk about food on Amazon. That sounds like a good subject. And Calvin can help me with that because he's got opinions too on a lot of the different things. So I'll talk about food. And I talk about Louisiana and talk about Mississippi, talk about all the different foods that are in our backyard. Because there's no place in the country that's like the way we eat down here. Nobody compares. And I've been around the country to kind of see. I kind of been around the country to see how everybody eats, and no, nobody eats like us. No question. And then I thought, well, living in Louisiana and living in Mississippi and having gone through what we went through last year, I figured, well, I'll just talk about things related to, as it pertains to Amazon, talk about stuff to eat. So all the different food items. I'd talk about generators as far as that's great to have for cookouts, camping, going in the mountain, going to the beaches, whatever. That's your power supply. And then it's great for hurricane season. And then I thought I would talk about hurricane season. So ever since I started on May 1st, that's basically what I've been doing, talking about hurricane season. Not thinking that we'd get this one. Oh, Claudette, that was not a problem. Claudette was okay. Claudette was okay because it was 45 miles an hour. But this one, oh man. But the thing is, like I say, it may not hit where I'm at, but my house is sitting in New Orleans and I don't want it to hit my house. Not again, not after Katrina. So we've been through that. So anyway, Amazon, as far as me being on Amazon today's a good day to answer any questions. Anybody's got questions about storms, I've been through it all. Been through it all. And as far as family's the same thing. Family or friends or whatever, it's a great time to say hello. Just say hello. Say hello and let me know you exist, that you're out there. Let me see if I can get this thing hooked up here. I'm gonna try to get it going. Well, one thing I didn't have to do this year. One thing I didn't have to do this year is really go out and go buy a bunch of stuff to eat, because as you can tell, there's a bunch of stuff there, and it's healthier than usual. It is definitely healthier than usual. Let me see if I can find my live stream here. Let me see. Yeah, I just checked on Calvin. Calvin's still sleeping. He's still down for the count. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, I got let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and let me know if anyone has any hurricane questions. I'll put that there because yesterday some Amazon customer told me, I'm so worried about the guys for the hurricane. What am I talking about? Things that you buy. So here's my situation where, yeah, there's things to buy, no question about that. But hey, at the same time, hey, if you got any questions, if there's any questions about what's going on, let me know. One thing I can tell you, they had a couple of tornado watches where I'm at. Like I said, the winds have been kind of up to like 40 miles an hour. I don't know if it's past 40 miles an hour, but it's enough to scare you. There's no doubt about it. Because once you get up to 40 miles an hour, that's a pretty good clip. There was like a tornado that was like north of Gulfport, like real close to where I'm at, but it was going like northwest, so it was heading that way. So that one didn't have to worry about. Then there's one like that was close to Waveland, which is like 15 to 18 miles away. Okay. So in hurricane terms, that's a long way away, especially for a tornado. So there's two of those things that have happened today, besides the consistent 20, 30, 40 mile an hour winds. Now I did hear that they did get some 100 mile an hour gusts coming up in the Grand Isle's in Jefferson Parish. Where I live in Jefferson Parish, but I mean, as far as my house is concerned, it's in northern Jefferson Parish. But when you talk about Grand Isle, that's southern Jefferson Parish, and that's very low. And I spent time in Grand Isle too, and what they did there is they ended up closing things off. So anybody that's in Grand Isle, man, that place is a rocking right now. And if you're there, you're there until later down the road. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was a hello, not hell. Yeah. So that's what that's all about. So it looks like I don't know, but it looks like the storms slowed down, and that's not a good thing for the New Orleans area as far as the rain is concerned. So not only does the New Orleans area have to think about the high winds and damage to the roof and all the different things that go along with that, but they got to worry about, are the pumps going to work this time? Are they going to work enough to make sure that whatever comes in gets pumped out? The thing is, it could come in faster than it's possible. The pumps could be running full blast all day long, but the rain could be coming in at a greater speed, and that would not be good. So I don't know what's going to happen. We just have to kind of sit back and see how it goes. Hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump into the carousel, just look and see where prices have gone. Let's see, going to Amazon Live and seeing if I'm still connected, which would be a good thing. Let's see. Hey, I did get my air conditioning kicking up as much as possible, because when it does go on, it's not going to be fun. But the temperatures are not really hot. The humidity's high. But yeah, we're trying to stay as comfortable as possible. Anyway, I got the Champion generator in here at 929. That's a little higher than it usually is. It's usually running around 895 to 905. And the thing on the Champion generator, let's see. The thing on the Champion generator, it's like $25 or $35 higher than usual, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good considering that we're definitely in the heart of hurricane season right now. So that's at 329. That happens to be my best-selling generator. That happens to be the best-selling thing I actually have in the carousel since day one, since May 1st. And by the way, this is the 114th day in a row that I've been Amazon Live. I don't know if I'm going to make 115. We'll see how it goes. The Duramax is at $13.99. It lived at $12.99 for a long time, at a very long time. And it actually even went on deal in the middle of the summer where it was $12.51. $12.51, and then it unfortunately went back to regular price at $12.99, and then it jumped up to $13.99. That's where it's at, Duramax. I put my kayak in here because this kayak is still hanging in there. It's the third best selling item I have, and it's $149. It spent most of the time during the summer at $179, $189. It went all the way to $214. It went to $207. It was at $200. It was at $199. But now it's at $149. It would come in handy with the flooding that we have. If somebody had kayaks already, it would be an interesting thing to have, no doubt, no question. Anyway, so I got it in there. Hey, the weed eater, we got to get the water down. Let's get the water down, and then the eating begins. There's one of the things that I did since May 1st, since it was the beginning of hurricane season. I talked about a lot of things that you clean up after hurricanes, whether it's a pole saw, a pressure washer, our chainsaw, or an edger, or hedge trimmer, or whatever it is. That's kind of like all the different things. It all kind of had the same theme, basically. Food. Since I take the 45 years of food, I talk about the food, then talking about generators, talking about cooking the food that you end up buying, whether it's a Traeger, or a Weber, Oklahoma Joe, A Smoke, Camp Chef, a Commodore Joe, whatever it is. Talk about all the different things that you cook the food with. Okay, so I'll take the food stuff that I've talked about forever and ever and ever, and talk about the stuff that you cook the food with, because that's what Amazon sells. They sell all kinds of equipment to cook the food. If I could sell the baby back ribs and the and smoked salmon and stuff like that, that would be a different thing. But that's not the way it's set up. It's set up to sell stuff that's non-refrigerated, non-frozen. So that's what I got to do. I got to adapt to the situation. So basically, I spent 45 years basically promoting and selling food, basically, to talking about nothing but non-food stuff, machinery and equipment and machines and stuff like that. So hey, that's the way you got to adapt to the situation, and that's what I did. I can't travel like I did. I used to travel all over. I used to go to trade shows all over the place. I used to make presentations to major chains all over the place, all over the country. And now I can't. I'm taking care of my son, so it's a different story. So the fact that I'm able to do Amazon Live, that's a pretty good thing for me. It worked out pretty well. It was a great thing. It was a great thing. Hey, and then I got this fishing kayak. This fishing kayak. Once I realized that the 2-seater kayak was selling like crazy and the 1-seater kayak was selling like crazy, I put the fishing one in there. Hey, if they sell one, if you buy one for $200 and something, and you buy one for $100 and something, maybe you buy one that's $300. And it's true, they do. $349. It was rocking and rolling. And then it went all the way down to $309. and then recently went to $314. So it's okay. So it's $5 higher than where it was, but it's the fifth best selling item. Did I see that? I never saw that coming. Never saw that coming. Never thought I'd be selling kayaks. So I went from selling chicken fried rice and shrimp scampi and gumbo and jambalaya and baby back ribs and pizza and stuff like that to kayaks and weed eaters and generators. Okay, that's what it ended up being. And not to mention, a little food along the way. But food's a different story. You buy one box of something and it's $10, but a generator is $1,000. Big difference. All right, so I put the Traeger Grill in there because the Traeger Grill is great. Hey, people that really that are serious about cooking or smoking, like smoking brisket or smoking a pork butt, this Traeger works really good. And we're going to be taking stuff, we're going to be cooking some stuff as time goes by, especially if we lose our electricity. We'll be cooking stuff. But anyway, what my 35 years in refrigerated and frozen meatballs from Rosina. But the Rosina stuff, well, I'll tell you what, Rosina did Italian sausage, and that really actually goes well on the grill. But I'm looking for stuff. Yeah. For instance, Johnsonville sausage. No matter where you live in the country, Johnsonville sausage is pretty much, I would imagine, is available all over the country. That goes good on a grill. And this is Cajun. This is a Cajun sausage. It's got cheddar. So I'm a big cheddar fan. So I like the thing in Wisconsin. One thing about Wisconsin, they're known for their cheese. So the deal is, you could put let's see what's going on here. I dropped my mouse and my mouse is not working. So you might. I think I might have damaged my mouse. My mouse fell. Let's see what's going on. All right, here we go. Yeah, the pork butt. Yeah, if you got a pork butt, you might want to smoke it on a grill, a Traeger grill or a Weber grill. Or what about? Here we go. What about some ribs from Smithfield? Smithfield's all over the country. Tyson's all over the country. It's a shame that the prices, pork butts are sky high, and baby back ribs and beef. The only thing that wasn't affected too much is chicken. Chicken wasn't affected too much, but it's taken off now. I mean, it's starting to take off a little bit. It was the one that was least affected by the whole deal. Now, the chicken wings were on fire. That's on fire. But the chicken breasts were reasonable compared to the price of gas. Hey, and one thing you got to realize, man, the one thing I remember about Katrina is that a couple days later, next day, I think maybe the next day, I had people from different parts of the country said, "Did you see the price of the gas?" And I was like, "What? What's the deal?" Because I wasn't, I had just driven from New Orleans after Katrina, drove to San Antonio, and I was like, we were in, you take everything that you own, you put it in your vehicle, you cram everything in the vehicle, you don't have no room to put anything else, and you drive. And then the next day I remember getting on the phone and people told me that, man, the gas went up 50 cents a gallon. I was like, you're kidding. Oh, because, we're so tied up with what happened to our house. Is our house still there? What happened to it? We don't know because we're 700 miles away. Well, anyway, I was thinking about this, and I don't know if they've been talking about it or not, but man, when you have the hurricane out in the Gulf, you got to take all the guys off the rigs. And then there's not any production. And then the thing is, when you cut back on production, well, gas is already high. Well, it's just going to make it go higher, unfortunately. So just wait for that. Just wait for that. That's coming. Anyway, as far as cooking on the grill, Yeah, you could get Tyson chicken breasts or Tyson any kind of chicken. If you're out on the East Coast, it might be Purdue. If you're on the West Coast, it might be Foster Farms. If you're down in the South, it might be Sanderson Farms. But no matter where you live, Tyson's everywhere. And so is Bubba Burger. I think Bubba Burgers are everywhere. And that goes great on the grill. That's an awesome thing. Anyway, I was just kind of taking some of the things I did. I sold burgers and sausage and chicken and seafood and everything under the sun. So I figured, well, let me tie it into the grills, right? So that's okay, you need your generator to run things. And it's nice to have grills, especially if it's summertime, right? Summertime, cookouts, tailgate parties, that kind of stuff. That's why I kind of talk about it, because it's related to what I did for 45 years, the food business. All right. And if you're busy and you're working, you might get tired. You might need a mattress. And hey, I threw this mattress in here because, hey, it's one of the best selling items I have. It's in the top 10. It was $266 a couple days ago, and then now it's $220. So it's $46 less than what it was at $266. You know what? While I was spending my time in the food business, I wasn't really spending my time checking out mattresses. I didn't know what a Zenus was. A Zenus? Well, I didn't even know it was pronounced Zenus. It was Zinus. I was saying Zinus. Isn't Linus? Yeah, Linus on Charlie Brown. I figured, well, it was Zinus. No, it's Zenus, because that's what they said in the video. I saw the video where they smashed that mattress and put it in a box, and I thought that was pretty amazing. Yeah, you got to have a mattress smasher in order to get it in the box so you could ship it, so that you could ship it on Amazon. Hey, when I got my house in Gulfport, one of the first things I did was I had to get 5 mattresses. So I got 5 mattresses and had it shipped to the house. The only problem is I put the wrong address on it. So that's a disaster. Hey, rule of thumb, if you ever put the wrong address on something, don't do it on an order that was almost $2,500. Don't do that. And I did that. But anyway, and I never did that again. I never wrote the wrong address again. I always had the right address after I made that, mistake in the beginning. So anyway, this green tea mattress, it's extremely popular. 113,000 reviews on Amazon, and it's got the right price at $220. Hey, this winter air condition. Okay, let me tell you why was I talking about portable air conditions? Okay, what is that, Randall? What does that have to do? Why you're doing it? Well, this has a lot to do with it. When you're in a situation where you lose your power, if you're lucky enough to have a generator, not everybody has a generator. Most people don't have a generator. You're extremely fortunate if you have a generator. But let's say you have a generator and it's not that big. It's a small one. That's where the portable air conditioning comes into play. That's when it comes into play, because if you have a small one and you have a portable air conditioner, guess what? You can probably run your refrigerator, your freezer, and your air conditioner for the one room, because you're not going to be able to run your central air because you don't have a big, let's say you don't have a big generator. Now, if you have a big generator, then you're even luckier than most people, because that's great, man. When you can have a generator that's $13, $14, $15, $2,000, man, that is luxury. That's great. That's great to have. So this winter portable air conditioner, one thing I learned when I started doing Amazon Live, man, portable air conditioners are popular. They are. Hey, when I went through Katrina, 16 years ago from today, we stayed in San Antonio for 22 days before we were allowed to come back to our house. Well, when we came back to our house was flooded, so we had mold growing. We had mold all over the place. So we had to pull up the floors, because we had like that pergo. We had that pergo, it all buckled. We had just put it in like less than a year before the storm hit. So it was buckled all over the place, and we had to take everything. We took everything out, and you had to cut the sheetrock in half and everything. But we had one room that wasn't in real bad shape. It was the sheetrock was painted pretty good with a very good paint coat of paint, and it was kind of a little bit of resistance against the mold, and you know what I mean. It was in good shape, and we had it on a ceramic floor, so it was fairly good shape. So what we did, and the bird survived. Yeah, exactly. And the bird survived. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had a bird that we left that we had to leave, for the storm. And then what happened was we had friends that went back to New Orleans because they had the permit to. We didn't have the permit to go because we weren't medical personnel. And we had a friend that went in, got into the house, or had to break into the house, I guess you can say, and got our cockatiel. We had a cockatiel, so she saved our cockatiel. Yeah, because when you're leaving, you don't think you're gone for 22 days, but we were. Yeah. So the thing is, we got somebody to save our pet bird. Okay. Anyway, the winter air conditioner. What I was going to tell you is that 16 years ago, we had that room, and we had a mattress topper that we brought to San Antonio with us. It was like 3 inches, I guess. We folded it up, we put it in the truck, and we brought it to San Antonio. Well, guess what? When we came back, we had the mattress topper. Guess what? It wasn't wet. It wasn't full of mold. It was in good shape, right? Because it had not been exposed to the elements. So we ended up putting the mattress topper in that room, and we happened to have a portable air conditioner. Well, back then, I don't know if they had portable air conditioners like this. I think they were called window units. The window unit. We had a window unit, so we put the window unit in there, and it worked. And we turned it on, and we had one room with air conditioning. How about that? Because the rest of the house was messed up. And the only way that you could come back and rebuilding your house is to live there. You can't live somewhere else and have it rebuilt like you want. You can't go through you can't have somebody else go through all your personal stuff and decide what's got to be thrown out, what's going to be kept. You got to do it. So you got to live where your house is, and it's not the nicest thing. When we came back, we had to get the shots. We had to get shots. It was the hottest day of the year. It was in the middle of August. Oh yeah, it was August 29th. Well, it was August 29th when it hit, but 22 days later in September, when we came back on the check on the house, it was hot. I mean, in New Orleans, it can be really, really hot in September. It's not like a cold front came through. It was 90 something degrees, and I can say it was probably the hottest day of the year. So, I mean, it took a while for things to happen because you couldn't go and buy things. You got to remember that for the last 22 days, nobody was allowed to come back unless you were, emergency personnel. If you were a doctor, you were a nurse, or you're, I guess, a tow truck driver or ambulance or whatever. You were allowed. So anyway, that's the deal with the air conditioning. Air conditioning comes in handy if you have a generator that's not that big, and you can handle the one. And you could run the one portable air conditioner, because a portable air conditioner is much more cooler than a window unit. Hey, we had window units back then because we didn't have portable air conditioners to buy. You bought the ones that stuck out the window because that's what existed. Now we're living in a whole new world, and this is pretty good. But anyway, that's $510. That's $15 cheaper than it was when I started with it way back in the day. And I put the business laptop in here from Dell because some people are going to school. Some people will be starting school later down the road. Some people, run businesses. Some people do a lot of different things. So this one's 1888. There's Amazon's got a bunch of different laptops, all kinds of budgets. There's a lot of live streamers on Amazon that sell a lot more laptops than I do. I don't get into all the details about the laptop. Of course, I used Apple ones, and I never had a Dell, but I've had a whole bunch of other ones that were Windows based. But the deal is, there's other Amazon live streamers that that talk a lot about computers and how to put them together, and they talk all about them. So there's other live streaming shows that you can see to learn about computers. I'm not the one. I've used a bunch. I've used a bunch, and I know enough to get me in trouble. But that's about it. 1888. That's that. Hey, I put the DeWalt pole saws in here because guess what? The one thing I did see is it's not just Louisiana going to deal with this storm. This storm's going all the way to New York and Boston. And you never know. I just remember where the mess that Camille was. Well, I was a kid. I was 8 years old. I remember the winds were blowing so hard where I lived. You threw the Frisbee up in the air, and that Frisbee went way up in the air. I mean, I'd never seen, that's what we were dealing with. I guess we were dealing with kind of the outer bands of the storm back in the day. Good thing it didn't. Hey, Ollie, thanks for following. I can use all the followers I could get. Yep. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Yeah, the DeWalt, I got that in there because it's a top 50 item for me as far as sales are concerned. And then the other thing is when that storm goes, what I was saying is the deal with Camille. I was only 8 years old when that came through, but I remember watching the news. They had this thing called the news. They had ABC, NBC, and CBS, and that was it. There was no cable back in that day. There was no social media back in that day. You had 3 channels. That's it. That's what you had. So you watched those 3 channels, and I remember the reports. This was called the national news. They had a thing. You had your local news, then you had the national news, and that's when people they definitely watched the news back then because that was the only 3 sources. You couldn't learn it on. You couldn't learn about the news on YouTube. You couldn't learn about the news on Twitter, Facebook. They didn't have any of that. That's when everybody was listening to that news program. And I remember them doing reports about flooding up in the Northeast. And then that's, as a kid, 8 years old, you learn really, really quick. Man, you saw that we ended up seeing in southern Mississippi. Camille was bad. I mean, it was powerful, and it was heading toward Louisiana, and then it just took a right turn at the last minute and went right into Mississippi, and it really devastated. It really devastated the place. But the deal is, so the thing is, even though that this storm hit at 150 mile an hour winds, I did see, I think it dropped to 140. If anybody knows it dropped any lower than that, let me know, because I'm doing these Amazon lives, and then I don't know what's going on. I have an idea what's going on. My wife told me that if she starts yelling, she told me that means that we got a tornado. We're in tornado watch twice already for 20 minutes. We're in 2 different. Yeah, we might have to eat the crawfish. We might have to eat the crawfish before. Yeah, if the electricity goes out, I think we're cooking crawfish. Yeah. Yeah, John dropped me off some crawfish. Since I talk about crawfish all the time, he dropped some off to me. Hey, by the way, he dropped off some Louisiana crawfish. Yeah. Hey, if you get a chance, if you get a chance to buy Louisiana crawfish, that's great because it's still kind of affordable. Later on down the road, it's going to get kind of priced out of sight like everything else. But it's kind of affordable. Well, let me rephrase that. It's affordable for crawfish because crawfish is it. That you don't get no better than crawfish. One thing, hey, we love shrimp down here. We talk about shrimp. We eat shrimp all the time. But man, when crawfish comes out, everything goes aside. And the reason is, look, this is the thing. The crawfish, you get to eat that. I'm going to talk about live crawfish. You get to eat that in March, April, and May. March, April, May, and then June, the shells get kind of hard. So you got like a 4-month season. Oh, yeah, you could get it in January and February if you want to pay an unbelievable amount of money for live. You can get it at any time. But anyway, John dropped me off some crawfish tail meat that's already peeled. Don't even have to peel it. And I can make another pasta. make another pasta with the heavy cream and whatever. Maybe we'll be eating good in our neighborhood in the next day or so. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to lose crawfish. Oh, by the way, yeah, I did when I got hit by Katrina last time. I got to find out who my true friends are, because I was a broker and I represented a whole bunch of different food manufacturers from all over the country. And I sold product in southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi back in that day. Well, I had 3 freezers full of food. I had an unbelievable amount of crawfish tail meat in the freezer, and I lost it. But the reason I say, you know what your friends are? You know how your friends are? You know when somebody comes after the electricity has been off for 22 days and come to help you get the freezer out and brought to the curve. The smell on something that's been there for 30, 35 days is not that great. Yeah, crawfish is good. If you're from Amazon, customer said it, crawfish is lame, LOL. Yeah, I don't think many people from Louisiana, Mississippi agree with you on that. But anyway, hey, look, that's why it's all different. That's why Louisiana or New Orleans is the #1 seafood town in the country. Yeah. The deal with the deal with crawfish in Louisiana and Mississippi, the same thing. Southern Mississippi, we spend so much time going to a restaurant and eating just crawfish, and then you got all the different times where you're eating shrimp, a shrimp dish, or you're eating fried shrimp po' boys, or you're eating all kinds of different things, whatever. And then you got people from all over the country that come into New Orleans and they eat that fried shrimp po' boy, or they eat a dozen oysters on Bourbon Street, or whatever the deal is. And when you add up all those different people, whether it's people from New Orleans or people from Biloxi or Gulfport or whoever it is, when you add all that together, that's when New Orleans ends up. That's when I'm listening to the house shake a little bit because the winds are getting kind of on the heavier side. When you put that all together, that's when you end up being the #1 city in America for seafood at the restaurant. And the company that came up with that little detail was Google. Google News Lab did a study. They did it 3 or 4 years ago. And they, basically crowned New Orleans as the #1 seafood city. I mean, who else is going to be? I mean, and I think crawfish has a lot to do with that being the reason. The crawfish and the supply of shrimp. The shrimp coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Hey, whether it's Alabama or it's Mississippi or it's Louisiana, there's a lot of shrimp that are coming in from the Gulf, and we eat our share. The average American eats. Yeah, you got little play. Hey, John, you got places that give it competition. But I guess when Google did the study, they did it with the Key West would definitely be in the running there, no question. But the deal is, I guess they did the major cities, or what. I guess that's how they did it. Because Key West, I'm not even sure what the population is of Key West. But anyway, New Orleans, that's where the shrimp are definitely coming in. Boston, gotta love. Yes, you got that right. Hey, look, I did enough traveling, and there's like 2 cities that kind of like end up being like my secondary cities, if you kind of. And one of those cities is Boston, because I used to go to the Boston Seafood Show. The first time I went to the Boston Seafood Show was in 1988. I went to the Heinz Center. Well, Nicole, I'm sure you No, right? Heinz, is it Heinz? The Heinz Center, that's where the show was way back in the day. And then, through the 80s and the 90s and the 2000, whatever. I went to Boston a whole bunch of different times, and it ended up being kind of like a second place, a second place or second home or whatever, kind of. So yeah, I got a long track history there. But the thing I like about Boston is Boston loves seafood too. But the deal is that it's different. It's different seafood. It's all about the scallops, and it's about the mussels, and it's about the cod. Yeah, cod's one of the top 10. One of the top 10 seafoods that's consumed in the U.S. Well, because we eat a lot of fish sticks, and fish sticks, cod ends up being part of that. And then the scallops are in the top. Scallops are in the top 10, but I think that's under a pound of, under a pound per person per capita or whatever. So, but the deal is, talk about seafood cities, Boston and New Orleans. And then the deal is, look, they had other cities that had seafood shows, but Boston is the one. And then the company diversified. I can't think of the second name, but anyway, the company that does the show, they changed the name of the Boston Seafood Show. They changed it to North America. Let's see, North America Seafood Expo. I'm sorry, I called it the Boston Seafood Show way back in the day, and that's what I'm gonna call it, because Boston earned, as far as the show is, concerned, the big seafood show. I'm talking about countries and people from all over the world come into Boston to display their seafood, because there's a bunch of so much stuff to eat from all over the world. I even had a chance to eat some caviar when I was there, because people in Louisiana, I don't think we caviar people or anything, but at least I got to eat some when I was there one time. And smoked salmon, of course, smoked salmon is the. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. But I think you agree with me as far as the deal with the Boston Seafood Show. It ought to be Boston's the one that has done a great job with that show for many, many years, and people from all over the world come in for that show, and they're the ones. So that's why I call it there. Even though they put on North America Seafood Expo on the name, I don't go with it. So I'm an old timer. I'm going with the old name. I went ahead and put this, I put this Apple MacBook in here. It was $1,500 the other day. Unfortunately, I went to $1,594. Hey, it's a MacBook. I actually have a regular Mac in here that's $899. So you could get into a Windows-based computer or an Apple. But the thing is, hey, it's kind of like you click what's in the carousel and you go looking at all the different things, because Amazon makes it easy for you to find everything that's in your, whatever's in your budget. That's what it all comes down to. Hey, so as far as I'm concerned, as far as the portable air conditioners, the majority of ones that I sell are either Black & Decker or they're winter portable air conditioners. And one thing about the portable air conditioner that I could say is, look, if you live up in the north and you got cold weather, a bunch of cold weather, at least consider the fact of getting one that does the heating and the cooling, because then you could use the unit all year long. See, like us, we get cold, but we can't say we get anything near like, New York and New Jersey and Montana and Minneapolis and Seattle. We don't get cold like that. But the thing is, I think it's good when you spend a little extra money and you could use it all year long. Makes it a better deal. There's that Apple MacBook. Yeah, there it is, $899. The only thing, like I say, I like to tell you the good and the bad. And the only thing on this Apple MacBook, it was $849. It was $849 for a little bit, and then came back to $899. Hey, you just never know. We don't know what the deal is when things go back at regular price, or we don't know if they're ever going to return to that price, or they're going to stay there because of inflation. Inflation's hitting a lot of things. A lot of things are, being in the grocery business. I remember in the 70s, man, I started a job. I started with Winn-Dixie, And I remember going to work every week and seeing the prices going up and up and up and up. And I thought, well, man, is this going to be like forever? And you remember when the mortgage on the house, remember the note, whatever, was up, the rate was like 20% or 18 or 21. I think it maxed out at 21. Man, when I was young, I was like, man, is this going to last forever? is this inflation stuff going to? Anyway, good thing it didn't happen. So for many, many years, things were kind of normal a little bit. You know, we had inflation, but not like this. But now we got it. So what we got today is pretty similar to what we had in the late 70s. So the end of my career, towards the end of my career is kind of matched up to the beginning of my career. High inflation. Hey, I put this Gorilla cart. Man, I could have used that Gorilla cart yesterday. I sure could have, because I was trying to move all the stuff around. You know, when you try to get your stuff out the yard. Yeah, that's not, one thing about these hurricanes, whether you get them or you don't get them, you got to be prepared. So then you take all the stuff from your yard and you fill up your house with all kinds of different things. And then the hurricane goes somewhere else. And then you feel like a fool, but at least you didn't get the hurricane. Believe me, you want to feel like the fool all the time. Hey, it's just like the deal with buying a generator. You can buy a generator and you could put it in your garage and you could let it sit there for 10 years and never use it. And although you might feel like you wasted money, you didn't, because you didn't get a hurricane for 10 years. So that's a good thing. Or you didn't have an emergency. You didn't have a fire. See, while we have the hurricanes out here, on the West Coast, you got fire things at any time. Fire can happen and you can end up having to evacuate out of your house because of a fire. There's all kinds of reasons that things happen, but unfortunately we got the hurricane and the tornado thing. Like I said, they had that tornado thing. When that your phone goes off and it goes crazy and whatever, you're in a tornado or whatever. Well, all I got to say is I was looking at they said earlier today, they said that the tornado will definitely damage your house. Your house can be gone. In fact, you could be gone, like you can be gone, because if you're not in the right place at the right time and something flies and hits you, yeah, whatever the deal is, it's a map. And I started reading a little, I couldn't read it. I couldn't read the map that well, but I was looking at the map and I was seeing all these different streets and all these different, I guess there were cities or towns or whatever. And they didn't look familiar. You know how you get 25 or 30 miles away from your place, then hey, I didn't know that place existed or this place existed, whatever. So the thing is, I was thinking that I was trying to figure out where is it? I don't know. It's in the county. It's like in the county. Oh, that's true. I'm in Mississippi. If I'm in Louisiana, it's parishes. But if I'm out in Mississippi, it's counties. But the thing is, it was WDSU. It was Margaret Orr from Channel 6. She was doing she was talking about this tornado in Harrison County, whatever. And I'm thinking, oh man, that's all we need. That's really going to mess things up. That's whatever. So I'm looking. And then she expanded the map. And then when she expanded it, I saw the Gulf and I saw it was going north instead of south. So then that's when I realized, oh man, it's not coming near me. But the cities that it was going to were smaller, small towns. So just like anything, anytime you got a hurricane or a tornado, you always want it to go to a place that affects the least amount of people. That's kind of how you want it done. But anyway, that one was going one way, and then the other one was in Hancock County, which is on the Louisiana Mississippi border, and there was one over there, and that's like 15 miles away from me. So that one didn't. Oh, when I said earlier, my wife said, if I start yelling out of control, that means that the tornado is near us. And I said, okay, I'll be listening for the warning there. So if you hear anything, that's what that's all about. So anyway, the Gorilla Cart's $92 and it used to be $99. So it's $7 and I don't know, 83 cents lower than it was. So you can get a burger and fries and a shake, I think, for $7.89 or so. One thing I did ever since I started doing the Amazon Lives, I've been talking about DeWalt. Well, here's an example. That's what I'm talking about. We put this to use yesterday, bolting up the door. If you saw the earlier, if my earlier Amazon Live, that's what we did. We took three pieces of wood, cut it to the right size, and then went ahead and screwed it in. Screwed in the top, screwed in the middle, screwed in the bottom. So our doors don't fly open. Now, the good thing about it is I think we're supposed to get, I think we got a small chance. If I can get this back down here. I think I can't keep up with the odds, okay? The thing's changing all the time, but I think we got a small chance of having winds of over 75 miles an hour. Maybe we're going to get 60, maybe we'll get 65. I don't know. But we're in better shape. But the thing is, if the door was going to blow open at 100, I feel a lot better at 70 or 65 or 60, whatever it is. I know we're at 40, 45 already, but you don't know. You don't know how fun it is to hold a door for 2 hours, wondering if the door is going to blow open or not. That's not fun because you don't know. You can't pay attention to what's going on. I remember my daughter called me during the time and she's like, "What's going on?" "Oh, we're holding the door because the hurricane's blowing the door in." And then we're trying to figure out, can you tell us where the storm is? Because we want to know, because we've been holding the door for so long. And then I remember my daughter said, "There's a tornado in Alabama." "I'm not worried about a tornado in Alabama. I just want to know, is the wind's going to go down?" So anyway, it maxed out at 100 miles. But the thing is, like I said, when we were holding the door, we just wanted to know, was that it? Was it not going to get stronger than what it was, or was it going to get stronger? We don't know. It's not like you have when you're holding the door, you don't know how hard the winds are blowing. So we didn't know. So we're just holding on to it. We didn't want to go through that again. So we took care of it. We didn't go nail it in. We screwed it in. We screwed it in all over the place. We overdid it. We just want to make sure the thing don't blow open, and it won't. So anyway, that's why I got the DeWalt in here. I've been talking about it for 120 days. You just saw the drill. I got the drill. I think do I have one? Yeah, right. Oh, I don't. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right there. There's another drill. And then we got the saw. So we got a bunch of DeWalt stuff. So after Katrina, we bought a whole bunch of stuff related to DeWalt. And that's why I talk about it. So I talk about what I know, or what I've experienced, or what I know somebody has. Because sometimes it's Amazon customers that tell me that they bought something and then that they like it. I got my neighbor. I was telling her about the tiller, the Sun Joe tiller. I was telling her, man, you could tear up the place for $95. And she took me serious. She ordered it. She ordered the tiller for $95 or whatever. And then I said, "Well, what do you think?" "Oh, I love it. It's awesome." And then that's all I wanted to hear. So the other day I was kind of wondering. So I went to see where she tore up the, whatever. And she tore it up pretty good. And I said, "How did you get those mounds or whatever?" She said, "Oh, I did that with a shovel." I said, "Oh, okay. Did that with a shovel." But the thing is, once you let the tiller tear it up, it's a lot easier to shovel loose dirt than it is dirt with St. Augustine grass on top of it. But anyway, the Sun Joe tiller works good. I don't have it in the carousel, but you can get a tiller or cultivator, whatever you want to call it, for under $100. And then the Sun Joe's got this pressure washer for $160. It sells really well. I'm just telling you, it's selling really well for me. And it's $160. It was $173. Most of the ones I sold were at $173, probably. But this one, it went down to $160. So it's $160 is better than $173. Let's see, $13. What can you do with $13? You can do a few things. Well, today I went ahead and did the coffee. I hit the Breville. I talk about the Breville coffee maker that I have. I got it easy. All I do is hit the button in the morning. My wife fixes it up every night. She wants it exactly. She fixes the right strength, how many cups of coffee, whatever she wants. She fixes up whatever she thinks she wants the following day. And then all I got to do is hit the button in the morning. And I always get up. There's, I guess, 95 out of 100 times I'm up before she's up. So I hit the button. And when she gets up, the coffee's ready. But anyway, I talk about the Breville coffee maker with grind control. You could have cold beans. You could grind it, and then you could make the coffee. And hey, look, I'm not a coffee expert, but what they say is when you grind the coffee, then you make the coffee, it's much better. That's what the coffee experts say. One thing about me is that I have like 10,000 connections on LinkedIn of people that are in the food business. I'm connected to a lot of people that know stuff. I know a little stuff. They know a lot of stuff. So if I need to talk to a coffee expert, no problem. I just get on the phone tomorrow and call them up and say, hey, can you tell? Well, maybe not tomorrow, but you know, when things get back to normal, I can find out whatever I want to know. In fact, my friend that has a coffee distribution deal where he supplies many coffee shops in New Orleans with coffee. He went to school with me at Nicholls State in Thibodaux, and he's from Morgan City, and he's got the coffee deal where he makes coffee for all these different coffee shops. He's the one that knows all about that. And he's from Morgan City, and that's where, the storm's going out in that neck of the woods. So every city, I know somebody, I know somebody. Oh, I know somebody that lives there. I know somebody that lives there. So it's very personal to me because, I mean, how close can it be? I mean, it's going to affect southern Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. And the thing here is that the storm is so strong that it's going to go all the way to Baton Rouge. So people that I know in Baton Rouge, it affects them too. That's, usually a hurricane hit, and by the time you get up to Baton Rouge, it's old news, oh yeah, no big deal. Well, unless you get flooded or whatever. But the thing is, usually the winds have died down quite a bit, but no, not in this one. This one is so strong that it's going to be bringing the high winds up there. So they're going to have problems with possible flooding and high winds up in the Baton Rouge area. So anyway, the thing is, I put the Breville air fryer in there just because I put the Breville coffee maker, and then when somebody looks at the Breville coffee maker, then Amazon will show you the air fryer. And then you look at that and then you say, oh man, I need an air fryer. This air fryer, one of the reasons it's probably really popular is you could actually air fry a turkey, a 14-pound turkey in there. Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. And it's good as a backup. You know how I talk about backup? You have a generator for backup. You have a portable air conditioner as a backup. Well, my backup story for the Breville oven is a while back. I got a GE double oven, the big oven and the little oven. Well, the big oven broke, and GE came to work on it. So they came to work on it and they couldn't fix it the first time. Then they came back the next week and couldn't fix it the second time. And then I had to go through Thanksgiving with a bunch of company with no oven. So we had to flatten that turkey. So that turkey was flat, just like it got hit by a bus. And that'll be a Thanksgiving we'll never forget. That's the year that the oven wasn't working. So anyway, it's good to have a Breville backup oven. We have a friend that usually brings us Popeye's fried turkey every Thanksgiving. So that's always something good to look forward to. Because if you're from this neck of the woods, Popeyes. You know all about Popeyes. Hey, two things. I got two little public service things. Okay, number one, we hear it every year. Don't run a generator inside the house. That's not a good idea. They got this thing called carbon monoxide. It can kill you. Anyway, that's public service number one. Not in the house and not even near the entranceway, because the fumes, the gas could go in the entry. So you got to keep it away from the house, away from the entrance. Then the other thing, since I'm talking about turkeys, if you're going to fry a turkey, don't do it next to the house. Don't do it next to the house. People have burned their house down. It's dangerous. You got to know what you're doing. So be careful. Be careful on frying your turkey, because a lot of people jump into it, think they know what they're doing. You got to know what you're doing. It's dangerous. The winds sound like they're kicking up a little bit. I can hear them up. I can hear it going pretty good. I still got electricity. I still have I still have a internet connection. That's pretty impressive. That's good. I'm hoping. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through. I don't know. I'm hoping. If I do lose, I go bye-bye. That's probably what happened. Man, it's blowing good. I wouldn't doubt it if it's 45 miles an hour outside right now. I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't know. And we're probably a little over an inch of rain, so we're doing good on the rain part for now. That can change later. Hey, I'll put the Samsung 43-inch in here because it's a smart TV and it's under $500. And Samsung is one of the best, probably the best brand in the world, for TVs. And then you know what? They get along with your phones. I got the Samsung Note 10 Plus. See, I got by the way, this is a Zizo. This is a Zizo case. 2 years ago, I got this phone. And I got this phone. That's the red Zizo. I needed to protect the phone, so I bought 2 cases. And I went to Amazon and I ordered it. 2 Zizo cases. I didn't know what a Zizo was. I didn't know anything about Zizo. So I read the reviews. And it seemed like it was okay. So I ordered them. I remember them being something like $16, $17, $18, something like that. So here it is, 2 years later. I got the case, and the phone's not broken. So it did its job and it looks good. Looks pretty good. Like I said, you got black and you got red. I don't know what other colors. If there's more colors, I don't know. But it did its job. So Samsung. And then you can get the Samsung watch. Samsung watch to match the Samsung TV and the Samsung phone with a Zizo case, if you want. Hey, I got the Weber Genesis grill. I have the Weber Genesis grill. I didn't get it over, I didn't get it when I was 25 years old. I had to wait a while. And when I was 57, I'm getting a Weber. I'm getting one of those Weber deals that you hook to the natural gas and you don't have to go out to get your propane tank filled. You don't have to go get wood pellets. You don't have to go get charcoal. You don't have to go get lighter fluid. You don't have to get any of that. So it's just that, hey, look, you spend that time in food, you spend a little more money in your food stuff. So on that. But I talk about these Traeger grills all the time in the Weber wood pellet grill. Who knows? Don't be surprised if I end up getting another grill later down the road. But one thing I do think if I had to bet, the next thing I buy, I think there's a good chance I might buy that Black & Decker hedge trimmer. And the reason being, it's cordless. And I'm colorblind, so if you got the cord in the bush, I'll probably cut the cord. And I've done that a couple times. I think I did that twice in my life. Man, doesn't that upset you? Because I know it might have happened to you. It happens to me. I'd rather not have to worry about the cord. Same thing with the weed eater. If you got the weed eater without the cord, that's another thing. Hey, what about when you hit it with your line and it, blah, 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 it makes all that noise and you think you broke it? It might pull out the string and then you got to redo the string or something like that. I hate when that happens too, but I do that too. So I'd rather not have the cord. If I could get rid of the cord, that'd be great. By the way, if you ever need a cord, hey, you could go to a local store and buy one, but your options are limited. But if you go on Amazon, man, they got all kinds of colors, all kinds of shapes, all kinds of sizes, a lot of things to pick from, and you can have it delivered right to your house. I'm just saying. And then, hey, while I'm at it, I'll say this too. Hey, you could get your toner cartridges. Yeah, my printer wouldn't work until it got some yellow. And then it wouldn't work until it got some, red? Is that red? I don't know. Is that red? Magenta? Okay. And then it wouldn't work until it got some cyan. Cyan, is that blue? Yeah. And then when it got all that, then it started working again. Hey, the other day I was in a store and I went to see, because I used to say that on my Amazon lives. You know how frustrating it is to get an air filter for your air condition? Well, I tried it. I tried it the other day. I went in the store and I say that all the time. I wonder if it's true for me again. So I went looking for my filter. I didn't find it. I got 2 filters, 2 different size filters. Didn't find either one. You got to be kidding. That's what I'm saying. You see, that's stressful. Oh, they had a whole bunch of other ones, but they didn't have what I needed. So that's what I'm saying. On Amazon, you could order your air filter. Hey, you could order your water filter. I did. In fact, you can see it behind me somewhere. Where is it? You see it? Oh, wait, let me see. Let me see. Right behind me. You see it? Is it right here? I think it's, oh no, went the wrong way. I think it's right there. That's a prop. That's not, that's the old filter. Uh-oh. I saw like a blink or something. Oh man, I hope not. I hope not. Well, we'll see. It seemed like it calmed down. The wind's calmed down a little bit, and I hope. Yeah. Come on, electricity. Stay on. I hope so. All right. Anyway, the Black & Decker, yeah, at 127. It was at 149 for a very long time. Stayed most of the time. And then we went to Amazon Prime Days on the 21st and 22nd of June. And then, bam, went down $38. And then before you knew it, it went right back up. Right after Amazon Prime Days are over. So if somebody says, oh, man, Amazon Prime Days, they're not no big deal. Yeah, they are. I'm telling you. They're big deal. Big deals. Hey, Traeger, you see the Traeger Grills at $9.99. The three best Traegers I got is the $7.99, the $9.99, and the $11.99. And the reason I call it by its prices, because the prices stay the same. Man, when you can keep your price the same and sell it every day, that's power. That's good. Hey, the winter went crazy. The winter price went way up. It went to like $545. I think it went up to $545 or something. Let's see, $545, and then just recently $545, and then just I think yesterday it went back down to $509. So that's a good price on this winter air conditioning. Look, I got a couple, right? Got to put a few options there. Hey, the Ninja FD401, this particular unit sells extremely well. It's at $199, but the Instapot Duo Crisp, it's at Instapot's the #1 multi cooker in America, and it was $199 too. I got to check to see where it's at. Oh man, the Fitbit Sense, I talk about it all the time. Well, the Fitbit, I talk about it all the time because I lost 51 pounds in 17 weeks. I had to work hard to do it. I had to keep track. I had to weigh all my food. I had to run the Fitbit app, keep track of everything, and then I had to do a lot of walking and climbing stairs and stuff. But I did it. But anyway, the thing I'm disappointed is it went all the way down to $199. It was at $199. That was the price. That was good. It's been at $299 and it's been at $199. I like $199 better, but now it's at $249. It's got a lot of bang for your buck, and it's got all the bells and the whistles. It keeps track of your resting heart rate, keeps track of your stress, your oxygen content, your oxygen absorption rate, whatever. Tells you the temperature of your skin while you're sleeping. All kinds of stuff. You can do Fitbit Pay, which I need to do. I got to get off my butt and do this Fitbit Pay thing, because if I ever leave my wallet, I can still buy the pizza. Nothing worse than going out to eat and then you leave your wallet and then you got to turn around and go get it. But if you got Fitbit Pay, you might not have to go back. Now, if you get stopped without having your wallet and you don't have your license, I don't think the Fitbit might not save you. Fitbit might not save you. But I'm just saying, when you go out, when you're driving and you go and get pizza, you want to eat pizza. You don't want to turn home and go get your wallet. You want to go eat when you've decided that. And I go at my son all the time, so he's not too happy. So I tell my son, hey, look, you got to tell me, you got to remind me when we go out to go get a pizza. And I'm talking about, I like to go to Sam's Club just to get a pizza, a slice of pizza. I tell him, hey, Calvin, make sure that when we go, make sure you remind me to bring my wallet. So I think he's getting it. I think he's good at reminding me stuff. So I don't want to go driving down the road without it. Hey, this Weber at 189, it stays at 189. It's pretty stationary. That's good to have because not everybody needs a big grill. You maybe not have a big family. Might be one person. Might be two people in the household. So all you need is a little grill. And if you go tailgating, you need a little grill maybe. And by the way, you can get the stand for this too. You can buy a stand for this grill. And then it's going to fit in your little itty bitty teeny weeny car. Sometimes people have little cars. Some people got big cars. Well, when you got a little car and then once you put your kids in, whatever, there might not be no room. But if you got a little grill, you can slide it in. But forget about it. The Traeger and trying to put the generator, the Duramax generator, you can't do that with the little car. You need one of those. You need a truck. You need an F-150 or a Silverado or something like that. But yeah, the grill's great to bring down the road. Hey, I put this kiosk in here. It was $29.99, but unfortunately it went to $30.99. So I'm telling you the good and bad. I tell you if it went up or it went down. Greenworks, wow, it went down. It's at 100. It was at 170 for a long time. And Black & Decker is probably the majority of stuff the biggest brand that I sell, or the brand with the highest sales as far as I'm concerned, is Black & Decker. Black & Decker does real well. It has a combo at 130 and it stays at 130. It's pretty consistent. But Greenworks had one at 170. 170, $40 more. But just recently it just dropped $24. So it's 146. $24 is $24. You can do a lot with $24. Hey, I got the Westinghouse generator here. Unfortunately, I hate to say. It was $9.99. I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was $9.99. Now it's $10.49. So, well, you get into like the disaster that we're in right now, and it's just starting. I was watching the Weather Channel, and they said it's just starting. It's going to go all the way up to the Eastern Seaboard. It's coming to Boston. It's coming to New York. It's coming to Tennessee. It's going up there. It's going to leave a path of destruction. I got this kiosk in here, $19.99. It's a good thing to buy after her. It's good to buy after the big hurricane, of course. Hey, I got the Greenworks chainsaw. That'll come in handy depending on where you live. You might live 1,000 miles away from me, but the storm may visit your neighborhood and have thunderstorms and knock a tree down, and you might need a chainsaw. It's hard to believe, but Hurricane Zeta was 10 months ago, and we got a bunch of signs that never got replaced. I'm talking about the corporate signs, You would think that they'd be, replaced by now, but a lot of them have not. There's still signs of the hurricane being here. And here we go. Here's another one. Hey, I put the Intex pool in here. This one does well. Intex makes pools, up to like $34.99. They got the pools that are like $20. $50. If you want to get a pool for your kids, little kids, you could do that. You want to buy one for your dog, you could do that too. Hey, the Instapot Duo, Chris. Yeah, it's still $149. It went to $149. See what I'm saying? The Instapot Duo, Chris, was $199. Well, you see, the Ninja and the Instapot were both $199 for a long time. And then they both went down to $149. And then they went back up to $199. And then recently, Instapot went down to $159. Then it went to $149. Then it went back up to $199. Well, here we go again. It didn't stop at $159. It just went all the way down to $149. Hey, you can cook all kinds of different ways with this Instapot Duo, Chris. And it's priced right, $149. Check it out. Just click it and you can see like 5 or 6 videos on how to use it. All the different things that it can do. Hey, I got a bunch of printers. I took the top 120 items that I sold in the first 100 days, and 14 of them were printers. And this was one of them. One of the 4, I think I had like 11, 10, 11, 12 HPs in there. I say that I got 3 grills, 3 Traeger grills that do really well. This is one of them, the one that's $11.99. It's the Ironwood. This grill has the Wi-Fi technology. It can let you know that your baby back ribs are ready. And at the price that we're paying for the baby back ribs, we don't want to burn them. We don't want to lose them. We want to make sure that they're well protected. Well, the Traeger Grill can go ahead and cook it and let you know that your ribs are ready. And then you can come back and say, save them, put them on warm for the next 20 minutes. Because I'm busy. I'm at the store. Or I'm still at work or whatever the deal is. Hey, I put this Bose in here. I ran across this Bose because mine right here, this is falling apart. This is a disaster. I'm having bad luck with headphones. I had one that broke. Unbelievable. It broke like the 6th time I put them on. Like, you got to be kidding. And then this one's falling apart. So I'm due another one. That's what I'm gonna have to do later down the road. But this Bose, man, click this and watch the video. It's pretty impressive. It's a great piece of equipment. Cancels out all that noise so you could hear. Especially when you get old like me, you need to cancel out all that noise. We gotta understand what people are saying, what's being said, whatever. Hey, the Apple Airpods, I got this at $189. The thing that's pretty impressive about these AirPods, they got a 4.8 star rating on Amazon. That's hard to do. In fact, hey, if anybody knows of a 4.9, let me know because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. Everything I've looked up is 4.8 or less. So the AirPods, you can click that and see a video. You can see how they do. That product sells well. Look at that, 236,000 reviews. That's a lot. That's a whole bunch. Yeah. Now put the American flag in here, 1995. It was in June, I guess it was mid-June. I ran across the American flag and I thought, well, maybe I'll put that in my carousel. Well, the first day I put it in there and I ended up selling like 10 of them. And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. That was just beginner's luck. That was good. 10's a lot. So then I kind of try as much as possible. But the one thing I can say is that you can dig into the American flag deal. And by the way, they did have a deal where it was like $14.95 for a short period of time. But other than that, it's been $19.95 the whole time. But a short period of time at 25% off and went back. But they got a good California flag. They got a great video. Check the video out. They did a good job with the California flag. And then you got all 50 states. You could buy any of the 50 states. And then on top of that, if you go to like Alabama, like if checking out Alabama. Now, I don't know how many states do this, but man, they got a lot of Alabama football flags. And of course one day, I don't know. I can't do that. And of course, my son would love that. Wait. Where's he at? Let me pop him up here. There you go. He sure would love me to put an Alabama flag in the front of my house, but I ain't going to happen. I can't do that. But anyway, you can find Alabama football flags. And they may have, I don't know, Texas Longhorn flags and other teams. But I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to look at all that. But look, when you make a flag, you got all kinds of different things that you can, come up with. Hey, I put this Sun Joe in here. It's a pole saw too, but this is only $75.98, and it's kind of like in a lot of budgets. Yeah, it's affordable, and they do a very good video to show you how it works, and it could actually cut a branch that's 9 3/4 inches. So that's pretty big. That's a pretty big size branch, and then it goes out 15 feet. So you get those branches that you've been dying to knock off. Sun Joe's got that tiller. Remember I was telling you about that? They got the pressure washer. They even got that Aqua Joe. Aqua Joe is their hose that doesn't kink up or knot up or stop the water flow. So this this Aqua Joe. You can look up Aqua Joe. Aqua Joe is pretty good. Uh-oh. Okay. That's in another emergency. Let me see. Let's see. I tell you what. Since all these phones off, I'm gonna go check and see what the deal is on the emergency. This is the third time that this happens. Let me go ahead and play. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and do the Duramax generator.
Be ready for anything with Duramax's XP 12000EH, the 12,000 watt dual fuel portable generator. Nicknamed the Beast, this unit provides the power normally found in home standby units, but in a portable package. Offering power and versatility, the XP 12000EH is perfect for powering your home's essential appliances and even central AC through any power outage, storm, or emergency event. You can also easily transport this unit to the job or campsite. This dual fuel monster runs on either gasoline or propane, which provides the freedom and flexibility of fuel choice. While gasoline is a tried and true fuel option, liquid propane lasts longer, costs less, and has a longer storage life and won't gum up the carburetor. With Duramax dual fuel capability, the choice is yours. Designed for safe and easy operation, the XP 12000EH features a user-friendly electric start that's as simple as starting your car. It's also equipped with an optional recoil start and features a low-oil shutoff sensor to protect the engine. This powerhouse generator is powered by a 457cc, 18-horsepower Duramax OHV engine that feeds the fully loaded power panel, allowing the user to pull up the maximum 12,000 watts of power. The power panel includes two 120-volt 20-amp outlets, one 120-volt 30-amp twist lock outlet, a 120 or 240-volt 30-amp outlet, and a 50-amp heavy-duty outlet to power the most demanding needs. The panel also features a voltmeter, circuit breakers, low oil indicator, idle control, and Duramax's unique MX2 RV switch, which doubles your 120-volt amperage for heavy loads. With it, you can get maximum power from each 120-volt receptacle and have the option of operating at both 120 and 240 volts simultaneously. The Beast heavy-duty all-metal frame has fully isolated motor mounts and an oversized noise-reducing muffler with a built-in spark arrestor for allowing smooth and quiet operation. The XP 12000EH is easy to transport over any terrain with the included handle kit and runs on solid fill tires. Like all Duramax generators, this unit is built with all copper windings that last for years, and it's covered by our 3-year factory warranty. The XP 12000EH is a fully loaded workhorse that can power through any situation and keep you going. Duramax, powering everyone, anywhere.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to What Tools Inside. I'm Matt. This is Josh.
Hey, everybody.
And today we will be talking to you about generators, but not just any generator. We'll be talking about the Duramax series generators.
So this particular generator that we're talking about is the 8500EH, but they have a wide range.
That's
right. Not
like
just small generators necessarily.
Right, from the 4000 series all the way up to, or the 400 series all the way up to the 1150 series.
Right. So that means that you have ones that you can take camping with you, or you can have ones that power your whole house.
Yeah, your whole place. If there's a hurricane,
air conditioner, all your major hot water tank, it'll do it all, no problem. So this one in particular is the 8500EH, which means it's a dual fuel.
Right. So you could use regular gas like that you would get from the gas station in it, or you can hook it up to a propane system, switch it over and use your propane unit, which is a very important system to have, so that in case there's a shortage of fuel or whatever, you can just switch over to your propane from your barbecue tank.
A couple of nice things too with this one is you can switch from 240 to 120 volt. Excuse me, at a switch of a button. So if all you're just needing to do is just get that amount of power, then it's running more efficient. And they're only 4-stroke engines, right? So they're nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going for cover. There's something south of Gulfport, and it's heading north, and we're going for cover. All right, I'll talk to you later. Y'all take care. Sorry. See ya. Okay.